Hello and welcome to episode 41 of the Apocalyptic Knitter podcast. I'm Naomi and I'm coming to you from my little bunker, my little knitting bunker in Leeds, where I live with my husband, my teenage son and our cat, who is about and has just walked past me to the kitchen to get her 10th snack of the day. It has been a little while since I've done a podcast. Just life, really, just been so busy. And then I had a couple of holidays quite close together. And I tried to kind of make some time to do a bit of a podcast in between and all that kind of thing. And it never happened. So I thought I'll just do a great big catch up when I'm back. So here I am. So thank you to all those who are returning viewers, and hi and welcome to the new subscribers. This is a mainly knitting podcast, but today I've got a little bit of crochet and I have a little bit of cross stitch. I know. So this is probably going to be quite a long podcast. I'll try to keep it under 40 minutes. I'll keep a bit of holiday talk towards the end because I know it might not be what you tuned in for, and that's absolutely fine. So, right, first off, I will start with my socials. So you can find me on Instagram as Naomi Knits, or Ravelry as Big Bird, or YouTube here as Apocalyptic Knitter. I do have four finished objects since I last came on. 3 I've had to already gift away, so I will be putting some pictures here. So first off was some socks that I had to have a very quick turnaround on for somebody at work who it turned out it was their 60th birthday. So I think I had about 10 days notice. And yeah, since the start of the new job, I seem to have got this little, not name for myself, but if it's a special occasion, a special birthday or something, I just tend to knit socks. It's my love language, what can I say? So these were done in Fable sock yarn in navy as the main colour, and then I just chose this mini from Stash, which was kind of white with a little bit of flecks of yellow, like a lemon, soft lemon yellow. So yes, so they were done. And then next up was some socks for my manager, who's just just leaving, he's just left. So these were done in the Knit Global. I think these were like a BFL sock yarn in the colourway Harvest. Now, interestingly enough, I'll put the picture up here. Interestingly enough, I thought the way it was skeined up, I thought it was a self-striping, but it wasn't. But I thought, oh well. And I was knitting the cat's locked herself in the room and she wants to get out. You might just have to wait there, Miss Lego, unless you want to come and say hello. Do you want to come and say hello? She says, no thank you. I will grace you with my presence when I see fit, she says. So yeah, so anyway, as I was knitting the foot of the sock, the foot, is it the foot? The leg. I couldn't even think of the word for leg then. Oh my gosh. The leg of the foot. I ended up doing those on 2.25mm needles, and as you can see, there's like a little bit of pooling, but the way that the colours are, the pooling kind of almost looked a bit like khaki, kind of camo kind of pattern, which I thought was quite alright. And then I don't know what it was. I think I needed the needles for something else, or I wasn't enjoying working on those needles because they were like some higher sharp ones, and sometimes I can't knit as fast as I want to on it, and you know, you kind of like stab your finger in the same spot and all that kind of thing. So I thought, once I get to the heel, I'll switch and I'll use my other needles, which are 2.5mm needles. But I thought, well, it's not going to make that much of a difference. No one's going to know. I thought if I change it around the heel, the tension's going to be what it is. Anyway, you can see that that extra like 1/4 mil difference has just changed the pattern completely. So there we go. That was quite a challenge of knitting that. I did have less notice than I thought, and I literally managed to finish it on my lunch break on his last day. Oh gosh, yes. So two more, so one more to show you a picture here, which was the absolutely fab 3D crochet blanket that I made for my cousin Isla. Just absolutely happy with the finished result. It was brilliant. The yarn that I used was Yarn Smith's Create Aran, which is like the acrylic one, and I used the black, the white, the silver, heather grey I think it was called, cornflower blue, royal blue and navy blue, and it, as I say, just gives that great 3D effect. And then I did like a border around the edge, so yeah. And then now I actually have a finished object that I can actually show you. You may have to excuse me, the cat is guilting me to let her out. There's a room, shall we just show you? There she is, and she sits there and she will end up just knocking things. Oh my gosh. She'll end up just knocking things off the table and back. So, excuse me one moment. Right. And then we go out. Okay. Nope. Oh blimey, she's coming over. She might make an appearance. We'll just ignore her and then she might just come on. So yes, my Zauber Ball socks, my crazy Zauber Ball socks are finished. These are for me and I absolutely love them. They don't match because the crazy Zauber Ball is just like a massive continuation, or it has a massive repeat sequence, if you call it. And yeah, so I did these, I cast on 68 stitches and I did cuff down. I did some, I think I did about 15 to 18 rows of 2x2 rib, and then I did heel flap and gusset, which I've been doing that more, especially for myself, because I feel like the heel fits me better and it doesn't seem to kind of move my foot out of place, or not move my foot out of place, my foot is where it is, move the sock out of place. And then I did the rounded toe, the umbrella toe, I beg your pardon, which I've been using a lot from Kay Jones sock patterns. The one that I used was from her scrappy quilt socks. She also does a garter stitch heel flap, but I've just done a standard one there, that standard slip stitch one there. So yeah, I used what did I use? I think I used 2.5mm needles. Yes, yeah. And this was my holiday knitting, so I took 2 lots with me. And I'll come back to that in the whips, and yeah. So I finished this on the plane on the way home. And this was, got the label. That's the colourway there. Which says 134272. And that says party, Partie. So I don't know if that's the, I'll have to do a bit of Google Translate to see if that's the colourway number or if it's the lot number, like the die lot number. I think the brain fog's a little bit present today. Anyway, that is all I have for finished objects. And now I have a very special work in progress, and I would like to give a little shout out to my cousin's lovely, sweetest little daughter, Marley, who's been very poorly in hospital, and glad to say she is feeling much, much better, and she is now being sent home, and I believe she may be going away on a little holiday. So I hope you have a fabulous time. And because she was so brave and such a good girl for eating and drinking when she probably really didn't want to, but it's important to, I said that I would make her some socks, of course, because love language. So hi Marley, if you're watching. And she would like some pink socks, and I sent her some pictures, and she chose the colourway from Super Effective Fibre, and it's the Espion colourway, which is some lovely soft pinks and some lovely like burnt orange little flecks, little speckles, that's the word. So these are just the cutest. See if I've got the band here. So it's from Carl's Pokemon range, Espion. And what I'll do is I'll put a little picture here of what the Espion Pokemon looks like. So Marley, these are started. I started these yesterday. So I'll work on these and I will send them over to your mum so she can give you them. And I am so happy that you are feeling much better and have a fab time on holiday. Right, so that is in my little grey girl firefly bag. That one. So that's that one. I have my little list here. As I say, we have a lot to get through today. What time we're on? 14 minutes past. That's not too bad. Right, a little bit of crochet now. Crocheting also a little bit of a acquisition. This was a little project bag that I picked up when I was in Greece, and how cute is that? I know it'll be like machine embroidered, but it's so beautiful, and it's just really like a Greek scene, isn't it? And it reminded me of, that's basically where I went. I went to Kefalonia, and there's 2 little pussycats there, and we had a gorgeous little ginger kitten who was following us everywhere on the hotel. So I got this bag because it reminded me of little Jeffrey, and yes, that was his name, I decided. Anyway, I digress. Before I went on holiday, as you do, I thought, I know, I've got like 3 holidays, I'm gonna crochet a whole new project. So I made a load of these squares in cotton because I wanted to do a like a beach bag, and then I ended up making 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost 9. That one just needs the natural collar around it. But I thought I'm not gonna have enough of the cream wool to then do another side. Basically what I wanted to do was to do like 3x3 on one side and 3x3 on the other, and then do some kind of strap. I've seen a few different patterns on the old YouTube, and yeah. So anyway, what I was using for this main colour is a cotton from Sirdar called, I believe it's called Tuscan or Tuscan DK, and it's almost like a silky cotton, and just ever so slight like variegated, just quite a subtle colour. So it's a bit more than, it's not like a speckles, but it's not like a fully self-striping gradient or anything. But what it means is that some are like a little bit more softer and subtle than the others, and some have more this kind of a blue in, which I thought was quite nice. I also had another ball, so this was a 50-gram ball, and it did all those, it did 9 squares. Now I also had another colour which was more of like a browny, orangey tones to it, but I'd already made a dishcloth with that, so I know that I won't get the full 9 squares out of that ball, and that kind of stumped me a bit as well. So I've got a bit of an idea. I might do the blues and greens ones on one side, do the browns on the other, and then just do like a plain cotton in the centre. We'll see. I'm sorry if you can see the camera wobbling. Even though I opened the door for Lego to go out, she is playing up and she is scratching the chair that this is balanced on. Yes, we are talking about you, Lego. Do you want to come and say hello? No. Tell you, honestly. Little camera shy. So that's going to stay in here for a little while. So we've done that one. Let's just have a sip of tea. Sorry, that was a bit of a slurp, wasn't it? Next in my Bertie and Poppet bag, got loose hair somewhere, is my Radiate, well not mine, it's the Radiate sweater for Chris, my lovely mum-in-law. She's a bit smaller than me. So I've done this in what's it called, Yarn Smiths, which is a wool warehouse, and it's the Merino DK, and this top colour, oh hang on, get out of the way, This top colour I believe is called Vanilla Fudge. And then this here, oh my goodness me, what's this called? I want to say Ginger. I tried Carrot because I wanted like a good orange, but the carrot was a bit of like a neon orange, and it wasn't quite what I wanted. I kind of wanted like all the autumnal colours. And then for the green, that's the called Olive, and it's really nice to work with. It's really like soft and everything. As you can see, I've just started the rib, because what I did, you'll remember this beauty that I made for myself, and she absolutely loved it, and I said, would you like me to make you one? She's, oh yes please. And I got her to try mine on so I could kind of work out the sizes, and then I took some pictures and I kind of put where a finger where she wanted the length to be and all that kind of thing. But it drowned her, bless her. I'll say I'm over 6 foot, and I think she's about 5'1" maybe. So yeah, I'm gonna come back and discuss in a minute, but this may end up being my focus knitting this weekend. What day is it today? It's Saturday the 23rd of August. So I go back to work on Tuesday, so I've got a few more days. So I'd love to, as minimum, cast off the body, cast on the sleeve, and just get that on the go. I've only got one more ball of the Olive yet left, but before I put a little order into Wool Warehouse, I only want to order what I need. And these are so just in 50-gram balls, so I'm gonna weigh it before I start the sleeve and just see where it takes me. Because sleeves are funny, aren't they? You don't always use as much as you think you're gonna use, or sometimes you can end up playing yarn chicken and all that. So yeah, so that's coming along. I felt the body took a while, as in I just felt like I was knitting it for ages. Now, I don't know if it's because in my head I thought, oh, this is going to be really, really quick because it's a smaller size, it's just any diddy. No, it still went on. But then all of a sudden, when you've done that body, and because you've already done a good chunk of this, you know, you've already done the yoke part of the sleeves don't take as long to do. So there we go. Oh, right. Now for the next part of my holiday knitting, I wanted to take with me 2 projects, just in case one, just in case, I knew that I would finish the socks on holiday, but I wanted another one that was portable in case I was travelling around. My knitting friends were saying, you do all this knitting for other people, you need to knit for yourself. So I wanted to make sure that the 2 projects that I had with me were projects for me. And I didn't really want to cast on another pair of socks just for the sake of it, kind of thing. I wanted to see if I could give a push on current projects. And then I remembered my quadrophenia blanket. So this is the quadrophenia blanket by Kay Jones. Now, I've already, can I reach from there? Can I? Oh, hang on. This might not look, there we go. Oh, a minute. Is that caught on something? Well done. There we go. Got a nice pull It's only snagged a little bit. So this pattern, oh, that's only one. I've got another one there somewhere. But this pattern, it was like based on a advent calendar kind of idea, advent knitting. So there. And what you do is you knit like 4 of these triangles, and then you kind of mattress seam them together, I think. Now, I'm sure that I've used the same needle size that is recommended in the pattern. And if it's 4 quadrants and there's 24 days, there'd be 6, wouldn't there? So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because I just wanted to get a little bit of the extra length on it. And also the advent calendar that I was using this for was Spectrum Fibre from 2022. But it was only 12 days. So what I ended up doing is I've done 2 of these triangles already. And then I tried to kind of do them in like colour codes. And so I thought, and they're quite a portable project, to be honest with you. So this is where I've got to the 3rd one. And you can see my little progress marker there, which is a very cute little house. Stay still, house. Cute little house there, which I do believe is from Attic Spin Dye. Love them. So I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on number 5. Now, these are some minis that I kind of just tried to group together because they're kind of similar, pale, speckly with some red speckles. As I'm knitting them, are they going together perfectly? I'm not sure, but you know what? As they say, it's only for me. So I'm happy with it. The only thing that I'm really curious about, and curious is the right word, is I'm not sure how big this blanket will actually be. Because if that's like the length of it, I don't know if that's just going to be like a lap blanket. So I won't know until I sew them all together. It might block bigger than I think, because it's garter, it might be like nice and stretchy. But then I thought, if it's not as big as I want it to be, I can always pick up and do a border all the way around. But will that be a bit of a ball ache? We'll see. So yeah, I've got that much left to do, and then I've got these 2 minis to use up. Now I don't know if these 2 are too similar. Don't know if they need a little bit of contrast, but then I thought, I don't know if I'm just more happy just kind of getting them used up. Answers or thoughts on a postcard. So, and what I think I'm going to do, once I finish Marley's socks, this is going to be my commuting knitting, because I have a shorter commute now than I did. I used to work in York and it'd be like an hour each way in the train, but now it's only like 12 minutes on the train. So by the time you sit down and get your seat and everything, it's only a little bit. So, but it's still quite portable. So I think that's what my plan's going to be. This is going to be my commuting knitting, and then I reckon this will be done if I just keep it like that. It's 4 months till the end of the year. I think that'll be done. And then that'll be like a really good long-standing project that's been done. because I think I cast it on in December 22. You know when you start something from the advent and you're like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna knit the like the full amount of wool that I receive every day and keep up. Never happens, does it? So that is that. So let me just have a cup of tea. What time? 30 minutes, not doing too bad. So I was going to say I'm having a hot flush, but as my friend says, it's not a hot flush, it's a power surge. Oh my word. Right. Next, what do I have? Oh yes, so you remember me mentioning that I had in the pipeline a commission coming up. So it's all a bit all guns blazing with it now. So I'm making a Submariner jumper. Now, I won't go too much into that. I think I went into it last time. For all intents and purposes, the Submariner is like a navy, as in like sea, Royal Navy, kind of hard-wearing jumper that's traditionally done like a polo neck, and it's traditionally cream wool. Now, some say that it's done in wool, some say it's done in cotton. So we ended up deciding on the pattern and the yarn. The yarn that I'm using is West Yorkshire Spinner in Arran, and it's their fleece, and it's a BFL, blue faced Leicester. And I like it because you've got that that rustic, hard-wearing feel about it, but it's still relatively soft, because I thought if it's going to be against the neck, you don't want something that's too itchy scratchy. So I'm loosely, and I say loosely, going off this pattern, which, as you can see, 6D, is quite vintage. But I'm not going to do the raglan sleeves. I'm going to do it as like a drop shoulder, a square one there. I think that just kind of sits quite nice. And yeah, this is where I've got to so far. I bought one skein as a tester because I think I got a couple of different testers just to kind of see how to do some swatches. So this is where one skein has got me, and I've literally, you probably can't see, I've literally just done one row of the stockinette. That's where I got to. So I actually ordered a load more skeins from Wool Warehouse on Wednesday when I was still in Italy, and I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, as you do, and I thought, do you know what, I may as well get this ordered now, and then it'll arrive, you know, over the weekend and all that. And I still not had my delivery note, which I thought it'll probably say it's going to be dispatched like on the Friday, maybe the Saturday. But no, which is I'm a bit disappointed, but also it's a bit unusual for Wool Warehouse. So I've dropped them an email just to say, everything okay? Because I think I'm just a bit paranoid because I was in a different country when I ordered it, but that shouldn't make any difference. Anyway, so if that does end up coming today, because I think it's the delivery, and we've got quite a decent every delivery drive around by us. I know it's one of those, some people have issues, but we were quite okay really. So this, to get a gauge, because although it's Arran, and you kind of say Arran 5mm, I felt like the gauge was a bit too loose for kind of what, like the fabric of what I wanted. So I've done the rib in 3.5 and then I'm doing the main in 4mm. And I think what I'm doing is they've given me like a jumper that they wear and they like the ease of, you know, is that the right word? Ease? Fit? Yeah, the fit. You know what I mean. So I did the swatches and everything, and as always with the rib, it always shrinks it in a bit, and then you're thinking, oh. So I don't want to kind of start again, add more stitches to it, and it ends up like that. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the gamble, and I'm going to do about another few inches in stockinette, and just kind of lay it out there. I may even give it a little bit of a block on the cables just to kind of see. But I'm happy with, I don't think I'll need to redo it. I think that's plenty. It's got a massive stretch in it, but I don't wanna like pull it out really. Design modifications, well obviously this is done in pieces and I'm doing it in the round, and I'm just gonna do what I did when I did the Gansey. I did a pearl one, knit to pearl one, like a fake sewed seam, just to kind of, I like that detail because it's just discreet enough for you to kind of, subtle enough for you to notice it, but when you're blocking it out you kind of know where it is. So yes, I'm quite excited on that. So once the wool comes, it'll be quite a, it should be quite a quick knit. What I might do while I'm off work and got the headspace is I might start drafting some notes on how far to knit it up to here, and then I'm gonna knit up and then work out the next. So I might just kind of get that bit in, because what I don't want to do is like overshoot and knit up far too much. So yeah, so that is that. And that is in my Stormtrooper bag, which I got at a Star Wars convention when Brandon was just 4 years old. So yeah, this is 10 years old. When he was in the Star Wars years, as I like to call it. And I think that is all my knitted projects. I think for 38 minutes, that's not too bad. But if you remember, I did say I had a cross stitch project. Now, I'm a sucker for, you know, giving myself unrealistic expectations and deadlines. Hello, ADHD. And I bought this really cute cross stitch of a robin at the, I want to say Stitch and Bitch, and it won't be that. It won't be called that. It's that wool. It's that like wool and sewing show in Harrogate. I can't remember what it's called. But if you're from Yorkshire, you'll know where I mean. And I got it from there a couple of years ago, because, and I'll put a little picture here. This is Yozza. He is a cute little robin that at my mother and father-in-law's house, and we, over the amount of time, we've gained his trust and feed him little mealyworms, and he's just the cutest little thing, and he will literally fly on your hand and take the worms and fly off, and it's just so magical, it really is. And my father-in-law's built up a little special bond with this Robin, and he turns 80 in, is it 3 weeks? So this is the progress I've done so far. Now, I say 3 weeks, but then they're also on holiday during that time. So that might give me another week or so. So I might end up having about 4 or 5 weeks. And the only thing that had the pressing deadline really was the Submariner jumper. But because I've not got the wool for that yet, and if it doesn't come today, then it might not be till Tuesday. So what I might end up doing is trying to see if I can give this a good effort. So I'll let you know how that goes. So yeah, and it's from Betty Davis. There are all the ones there, so I think that'll be quite cute. It's like I do have the patience for cross stitch. I enjoy it when I do it, but once I put it down, I can put it down for years. So, but my friend came over yesterday for a good old catch up and a natter, and she's a cross stitcher, so this has inspired me. Right, that is it for my projects. Acquisitions. I just had one from a D-stash because I'm saving myself up for the Berlin Knits wool show in October. Très excitement. But I got this in a D-stash, and it's Fab Funky Fibres, 50 grams, and it was like a tenner. I thought, for Fab Funky Fibres are usually really quite expensive, aren't they? I think they're normally about, is it £20 for 50 gram? 18, so I thought, oh, okay. So, and I do like black with all the contrast colours. I think that'll be quite cool. I don't think it doesn't have a name on it as me. I've reached the age when my eyes it has to be in the right light for me to see it. So that's that. I also bought some other acquisitions which are in the form of what's the word? Like project bags when I was in Italy, but they're upstairs. I forgot to bring them down. But also a couple of them are gifts for my friends, so I don't really want to show them in case they watch this beforehand. So there we go. But I'll show it next time because they were really, really, really reasonably priced. And they probably weren't even actual knitting project bags, they're probably something else. But to me, they can definitely be used as a knitting bag. And that is that. Holiday talk, where did I go? So I had a week in Catalonia with my friend Tony, and it was a really nice relaxing holiday. We stayed in Scala, and it was just a really nice pool and beach holiday with a couple of day trips out and everything. It was so hot. It was, I think the whole of Europe's just been like this constant mid-30s to late 30s all summer, and for those who live out there, I don't know how they cope really. But mind you, I think they've got better air conditioning obviously and stuff like that. But no, it was just, yeah, it was just really nice to spend time with my friend. She's also a knitter, and it was just really nice holiday. And then I went to Italy with Craig and Brandon, So if you follow me on Instagram, you probably see all the pictures. I'm really sorry. And that was about we did like 3 little parts. I went to stay with my friend, who I've not seen in 2 years. She lives out there. So I went to stay in her village for the first 3 nights, which was really good. And then we went on to Sorrento and then on to Rome. Now, we actually, if anyone who's interested, we got the train from Minturno to Sorrento, and then from Sorrento to Rome. We got a few different trains, we got more local ones, we got the high-speed one. I found it really easy to use. I also used the metro in Rome. I found it really reasonably priced as well. So yeah, if I would look into it, because what it can do is it can make your holiday a little bit more economical if you kind of wanted to get Airbnbs and build it up yourself. Yeah, really good. In line with the Big Sis Little Bro Making Show podcast, when they had 3 positive things, or things that brought you joy. These are the 3 essential items that I had on holiday. Best €3 ever. Oh my god, this was just like tied to me. Just an essential tool for your travel bag. And then I had one of these. Now, I'm not really a fan of all the, just drink out of a normal cup or drink, but these bottles with the aluminium really do keep your water cold for hours. Especially around Rome is fantastic. They have, I think I read on a YouTube clip that they had something like 2,500 fountains, like water fountains all around the city. So you could literally just refill for free everywhere you go, which was, and do you know what, I could not tell the difference between the water out of that tap and bottled water we bought from the supermarket. So yeah. And then lastly, the thing that brought me joy was their health service. I ended up getting a few mosquito bites, and they got infected, and they just went quite bad quite quick. And yeah, I went to a chemist twice. The first one gave me some steroid and antibiotic cream. 3 days later or 2 days later, it wasn't really improving, and they administered me some antibiotic tablets, dressings, everything. No fuss, no bother. It was just really, really good. So if you are ever on holiday, make sure that you have your G-HIT card or your E-HIT card, obviously health insurance, things like that. I didn't use my health insurance on this occasion purely because I felt the value of the medication and everything. I think it was €60, but there was a lot of bandages, there was a lot of dressings and all things like that. But I felt like if I'd claimed back for that such a small amount, it would make it more expensive for the next one, and I didn't want that fuss. But yeah, please don't feel apprehensive of seeking medical advice when you're there, because I know sometimes you always hear the horror stories and you don't hear the positive things. So yeah, I was really glad that I went. Yeah, came back to the UK and I'm on another lot of antibiotics because they didn't quite get everything. There we go. But it is on the mend, and I feel well of myself, and yeah. Anyway, I hope I've not bored you. Thank you so much if you have got this far, and I would absolutely love to know what you are working on, and what your favourite things to take on holiday are, little holiday hacks or knitting, anything. I also want to give a little shout out to two podcasts. One is relatively new, or she's new to me, and that is the lovely Sarah from the Knitting Forecast. I just stumbled across her podcast just lately. I've been having little chats and saying hi and all that kind of thing, and our mutual fondness of cats. But no, she's just recently finished her fishy jumper. I can't remember who the designer is, but it's really, really nice. So yeah, go give her a watch. She makes some lovely things. And also the lovely Nancy from Kitty Scrapper podcast. I adore her podcast. And yeah, I like long podcasts. I like a podcast if it's like an hour or like, do you know what I mean? So I always like to kind of settle down. And Nancy has some amazing makes. I love her colour palette. All like the neons and all that, really good. So yeah, so go give them a watch and a follow, if you're not already. And if you've not already, please feel free to like and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. But yeah. Right, I'm going to go and grab some lunch. I will chat to you all again very soon, and I will let you know how the Robin cross stitch deadline goes. Alright, take care. Bye for now.